Activity and understanding. The main thing with all this is to clarify your identity. You are something after all. As I see it, all the paths and traditions are simply trying to clarify what we are. Some approaches of pointing to this tend to do it positively. You are this. Some approaches do it negatively. You are not this. In my view, they are all saying the same thing in different ways. All the doing, studying, and practicing tend to be distracting in the end. Why? All that really needs to happen is a correction of our view or understanding. Suffering arises from a misunderstanding, primarily a misunderstanding of who or what we are. No amount of activity addresses this necessarily. Also, self-knowledge is really a clear understanding or insight. Basically, what you are, as you eventually come to see, is non-objective, non-conceptual being awareness. It is totally, clearly present now. Being is. Awareness is cognizing right now. The interesting thing is that you actually know this and always have. There is an undeniable sense of being present and aware. It is totally intuitively clear. Something happens, I would say, hopefully without getting too mystical, when you hear about this directly. Why? Because the one pointing to it knows it already. Words are just trying to point, but there is something being pointed to. That is in you, but you just do not see it yet. This being, awareness, or true nature is non-objective and or non-conceptual. In other words, before the next thought appears, being is and awareness is functioning. The conceptual mind is an instrument in non-conceptual awareness. There is a very basic point here, not to be missed or glossed over. The thinking mind is a tool or appearance that arises subsequent to your true nature. You are, and what you are is aware or cognizant. The conceptual mind appears to this knowing presence. It is extremely critical to see this point. Make sure it is clear. All questions are mental phenomena or thoughts. Being is not a thought. The mind is oriented to objectivity, things, thoughts, and activities. That is why the thinking mind is not the proper tool for recognizing one's being. It cannot be done. It is like looking for wine in an empty wine bottle. It simply is not there. That is why only reading about this will never work, nor will practicing, in the sense of pursuing objective states. Self-knowledge arises from the non-conceptual recognition of your identity as aware being. Every being is this presently. Only they may not have recognized what this is and are imagining themselves to be something they are not. This is the fundamental ignorance, the initial link in the chain of suffering. All hell breaks loose from there. How to understand all this? There is no practice per se. Mere activity is not opposed to ignorance. Only right knowledge can cancel ignorance. That is why the emphasis is on knowledge or understanding. The best way and most successful approach to understand this for most of us is to have discussions on this with someone who can speak from their own first-hand experience.